Hello, I'm Robbie Fowler and you're watching Redmen TV.
The big question, Jake, was basically when he was coming off, Lucas kind of did a wave to the crowd, which he probably would do anyway, but it makes everyone start thinking, oh, is that him done? And there's loads of talk of it being his last game for Liverpool. What do you think?
Well, I mean, one of my mates works at Chapel Street in the offices for Liverpool, and obviously he's quite close to the player liaison for Lucas, Scale and Coutinho. And obviously Besiktas, you know, it's common knowledge that they're interested in him. They wanted to take him on a season-long loan. And basically he spoke to Ian Ayre, and Ian Ayre said, well, you know, look, you know, we're not prepared to let you go out on loan for a season, maybe until January time, and just reassess. It's clear to see that him and Rodgers don't see eye to eye. I think it's more down to the fact that Lucas is quite a long-serving player for Liverpool, and I don't think he really thinks Rodgers respects him, you know, considering the amount of time he spent at the football club. Yeah. People will argue that, you know, is he good enough now? Well, against Arsenal, he proved that he actually is still good enough in certain games anyway.
And last season,
well, yeah, of course, you know, he played a vital role in the revival, didn't he? But anyway, so that was all that, and then by all accounts it was going to be, you know, his last game for Liverpool, and it suggested that, didn't it? You know, he waved to the Liverpool fans, the travelling Liverpool fans, and it looked like he was on his way. But after the game, he spoke to Rodgers, and this is what I've been told today anyway, and he basically told him, you know, we don't want you to go. And he said, well, you know, Besiktas' representatives are in the stadium here tonight, and they want to talk to me to discuss a move. And they basically told him, you know, you're going nowhere, you're a part of this football club, and, you know, you want to stay, don't you? And he said, of course I do. You know, I love this club, I love the city, I love the fans. You know, I'm 100% committed. And the decision was made that he won't be going to Besiktas and he'll be staying in Liverpool.
Nice.
Yeah, well, I'm happy with
that. It's a tremendous story, that, Jake.
I'm very well told.
He's got goosebumps.
A smoking jacket and your own little chair to sit in to read
the felt he'll drifted away.
But it's all warm inside now.
But I think it's dead right, and it's a shame that it's even come to that, I think, because to be fair, I think you don't need to look at the squad. To say if Lucas went, there'd be a fucking Lucas Leiva-shaped hole in that squad.
I think it was the back end of last season or in the summer. I was on the show when we had the keep, sell, loan debate, and I think we were all pretty unanimous that we'd be disappointed and upset to see him go. So to find out he was so close to the exit door is a little bit gutting, and to think that, I mean, you've got your manager coming out saying if we want to play that system, he's the best player to do it. Yeah. But we're more than willing to let him go. It doesn't kind of make sense, but. And that's cheered me up a little bit. I'm made up he's going to be sticking around, because regardless of whether he's going to be in the squad week in, week out, he's up there with Scale as our longest serving player. He's going to be great with the young lads coming in. He's going to teach them what it's all about, especially like Firmino, Brazilian and stuff. He's going to be a massive help to them. So
he's a top professional as well. He's got a great attitude.
You know
everything about him staying everything about him staying there is positive. There's no negative about him staying at the club, so it's a great thing.
I wonder then, it's quite interesting what you mentioned, because obviously Rodgers did mention about him being the best defensive midfielder, and there'll be times when we'll need him to play in that position. I wonder if Rodgers coming out in that press conference had a little bit of something to do with it, because if he felt that Rodgers didn't respect him, actually talking him up in a press conference has probably gone some way to...
He had him in the press conferences in the Far East. Again, I'm amazed that they've let it come this far.
Sometimes people need to put an arm putting around another.
Yeah, absolutely. But this is what I mean, is that I feel someone's dropped the bollock there between that press conference in the Far East. Yeah. Maybe Lucas has seen his arse over not being given the the vice captaincy or something.
It happened in January as well. He was so close to going to Inter Milan, and Liverpool basically said to him, Inter Milan wanted him on loan with a view to a permanent deal in the summer, and Liverpool, like, obviously Lucas was prepared to leave because he wasn't getting games and all that. Well, he'd only just got back into the side, and he just got injured. And basically Liverpool just said no, you know, they wouldn't allow it, which is fair enough, because at the end of the day, why would we let a player go out on loan who's part of the squad? Yeah. It's different if they were going to give us money for him, but they couldn't afford him because they got Podolski, they got Shaqiri, and they couldn't afford him, so if they wanted the loan deal, Liverpool just said no chance. And that's the problem, you see. You know, he's always been available to be sold, which is a bit disappointing, because, you know, as I say, he's a top professional. He's got a great attitude and all, and he's good around the club, and he's probably good for the likes of Coutinho, who doesn't speak much English, and obviously Firmino now as well, because the compatriots aren't he, so he'll help them along. Yeah. But
don't forget Rossiter as well. Again, like, look,
he can learn from him, can't he, to play that role.
Well, he did that again, you know, in Borough in the League Cup last season. He started the game alongside him, and he talked them through it. I don't think you're not going to become a worse professional footballer by being alongside Lucas every day, saying it's not going to happen. You know what I mean? You could say and I think people who don't like him for on whatever, and he's always going to have people who will never be convinced by him. With that, you know, he's never going to win those people over now at this stage of his career. But again, you can't. I just don't think you can fault again, as everyone said there, that it's the off the pitch things. That
you can't measure that. You know, you can measure someone on the football field and stuff, and I think he's a fucking terrific defensive midfielder.
He showed last night he's still got more than enough to offer us in that position.
He needs minutes under his belt if he wants to last the full game. I think that was pretty obvious to me anyway. Yeah. But what he does around the club, you see him last season, man, when he was sat on the bench and I was sitting by the bench, and that, like, he's playing every pass, he's playing every header. He fucking loves Liverpool Football Club. He loves the fans, he loves everything about the club, and you cannot have enough of those players in your squad. You just can't.
Yeah, no. And the point I made in the Echo bit this week was that the very simplest of it, it's all well and good to say, oh well, sell him, get someone better in. I'm sorry, but in terms of the squad, you know, because what Rodgers kind of, you know, insinuated when he talked up Lucas in the press conference was like, he is the best at doing that. We're not going to need that every week. And you know, Lucas Leiva is like 28, 29. You know what I mean? He's still in the prime of his footballing career, with a wealth of experience that he brings, and all those other things we've discussed. If you go, you're not gonna buy any better than Lucas Leiva. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry. Between now and the window shut, and people keep saying, "Oh, you can." Yeah, you can. Because you know what? I'm sorry.
Everyone's talking about Wanyama.
But like, let's throw 15,000 defensive midfielder names out there.
There you go. We're going to cut you off as always. Yeah, no beds, yada yada yada. If you want more Redmen TV goodness, there's full length shows, 3 of them every single week on the redmentv.com, where we do what we've just done there. Only as I just said, it's longer. So yeah.
Fed up with you calling them knobheads. I don't want to be associated with you.
Whatever, man. You're all fucking nice people. Do tune in to redmentv.com. We'll annotate it at the end of the video. Click through. It's just £2 a month normally, but it's free for the first month. Go and check it out. Thank you.
Hello and welcome to the comment below show after Liverpool drew 0-0 with Arsenal at the Emirates Stadium on Monday night.